You arrive at the airport, luggage checked, boarding pass in hand, and you feel that familiar buzz of excitement. You've been looking forward to this trip for months. But then, in a split second, something goes wrong. TSA stops you. Something you thought was harmless, something tucked into your bag without a second thought, is flagged and confiscated. Panic rises. Time ticks by. Your carefully planned start to the journey feels like it's slipping away. This is the harsh reality for thousands of travelers in 2026. The rules are tighter, enforcement is stricter, and most people don't know what's coming. Seniors, families, frequent flyers. Anyone can get caught off guard. The problem isn't just TSA being strict, it's that airlines and airports rarely make these details obvious. Most of the time, it's hidden because it's easier for them to enforce than explain, or because a lot of travelers simply overlook these rules. By the end of this video, you'll know the 15 items TSA is most likely to confiscate in 2026, and more importantly, you'll know how to avoid losing your belongings or wasting precious time. Most travelers will get caught by at least half of these, but you won't because you'll be prepared. 1. E-cigarettes and vaping devices. Let's start with something that surprises a lot of travelers. Vaping devices. At first glance, they seem harmless, even commonplace, but TSA considers them high risk because of the lithium batteries. Imagine reaching for your vape mid-flight only to discover it's been seized at security. The truth is, it's not just arbitrary. A small battery malfunction on a plane can be extremely dangerous. Airlines and TSA enforce this rule rigorously. But here's the insider trick most travelers don't know. As long as you keep your device in your carry-on, remove any loose batteries, and store e-liquids properly, you're far less likely to face trouble. Picture yourself at the checkpoint. You open your bag, the device neatly packed, no leaks, no loose wires. TSA barely glances at it. It's almost like a secret handshake with security. Preparation makes everything smoother. And if that surprised you, wait until you hear what's next, because the item number 2 affects almost everyone who relies on tech while traveling. 2. Oversized power banks and lithium batteries. Many travelers, especially seniors, carry power banks for phones, tablets, or even mobility devices. But batteries over 100 watt-hours are a red flag. TSA doesn't just confiscate them arbitrarily. It's about fire safety. Lithium batteries can catch fire if damaged. Think about it. You're on a long layover, phone dying, power bank safely tucked into your bag, but you forgot the limit. Boom, confiscated. The key is knowing the exact watt-hour capacity and either checking the item or carrying a compliant size. This is the kind of detail that seems minor, but in reality, it's a make-or-break moment at security. And here's a pro tip. Always pack spare batteries in their original packaging or a dedicated battery case. TSA officers notice that, and your tech is far less likely to be confiscated. 3. Knives and multi-tools. Here's one that trips up travelers constantly. Multi-tools, pocket knives, or even small Swiss Army knives seem harmless, especially in checked luggage. But in carry-ons, they're almost always confiscated. The reasoning? Sharp objects pose a safety risk, even in seemingly innocuous forms. What most travelers don't know is that TSA doesn't just care about size. They care about potential misuse in flight. Imagine being a senior traveling alone, carefully packing your gear, only to have your small utility knife taken away. It's frustrating, but preventable. The solution is simple. Leave sharp items at home or pack them in checked luggage. Knowing this ahead of time is the difference between calm boarding and a tense security encounter. 4. Liquids over 3.4 ounces, 100 milliliters. The clear bag rule isn't new, but enforcement in 2026 is tighter than ever. Lotions, gels, hand sanitizers, anything exceeding 3.4 ounces is fair game. Seniors with prescription creams or travel-sized medications often get tripped up here. Here's what most people miss. TSA officers are trained to catch even slightly oversized bottles. And yes, they will confiscate them without hesitation. The solution? Measure, decant, and use clear bags. It's simple preparation, but it saves time, frustration, and money. 5. Medical items without documentation. Insulin, EpiPens, or any prescription medication must be properly labeled. It's not just a suggestion, it's a strict requirement. Seniors traveling with essential medications face real risk if documentation is missing. Picture the checkpoint. The officer lifts your insulin bag, sees no label, and flags it. Suddenly, your vital medication is in limbo. The fix? Keep medications in original packaging with a prescription label. It's a small step with massive peace of mind payoff. 6. Powders and supplements. Protein powders, powdered vitamins, specialty teas. They're innocent, yet many travelers have them confiscated. TSA limits the quantity, and unlabeled powders can raise alarms. Here's the overlooked insight. Pack in original containers, label clearly, or move powders to check baggage. Travelers who ignore this rule often face unnecessary embarrassment. Seniors who take multiple supplements should especially note this one. It's all about anticipating what might seem suspicious to TSA. 7. Sharp beauty tools. Tweezers, nail clippers, cuticle scissors. Small grooming items are surprisingly restricted. TSA treats pointed tools as potential weapons. It's a shocker for many seniors who travel with a complete grooming kit. The workaround? Place sharp tools in checked luggage or simplify your kit to compliant tools only. Small preparation ensures a calm, smooth checkpoint experience. 8. Sporting equipment. Golf clubs, bats, pool cues, even lightweight items can trigger confiscation. Active travelers or hobbyists often get caught here. Airlines allow these items if checked properly, but carry-on attempts often end in confiscation. The takeaway? Plan ahead, check these items, and know the airline's specific rules. One misstep here can ruin the start of your trip. 9. Tools and repair kits. Screwdrivers, wrenches, hammers. Even small tools are restricted in carry-on. Travelers often pack them just in case for repairs or projects. The TSA's reasoning is straightforward. Sharp or heavy tools can be dangerous in flight. Seniors traveling with handy kits need to check these tools or leave them at home. Knowledge transforms potential stress into smooth sailing. 10. Aerosol sprays. Hairspray, deodorant, insect repellents. These are all limited. Seniors or frequent flyers who rely on certain sprays may not realize they're prohibited. Pro tip, use travel-sized aerosols, declare them if necessary, and keep them in carry-on only if compliant. This small step prevents a frustrating confiscation moment that could otherwise ruin your boarding experience. If you're finding these tips valuable and want to avoid TSA headaches on every trip, make sure you're subscribed to Boardifly. This channel is dedicated to travelers who want to fly smarter, not just cheaper. Stick around. There are some surprises coming up that even seasoned flight attendants rarely talk about. 11. Self-defense items. Pepper spray, stun guns, and similar items are strictly prohibited in carry-ons. Many seniors carry them for safety, assuming intention doesn't matter. But TSA is clear. Check them or leave them at home. Awareness here prevents delays, ensures compliance, and keeps you stress-free. Sometimes preparation is the only travel hack that truly matters. 12. Unusual tech gadgets. Drones, remote controllers, advanced cameras. Restrictions are increasing because of battery risks and size. Many travelers pack them without thinking. Pro insight, remove batteries, pack carefully, and declare oversized devices. TSA officers notice these small details, and your equipment is far less likely to be confiscated. 13. Firearms and ammunition. Even small quantities of ammunition require strict declaration. Seniors traveling for hunting or security purposes may overlook this. A simple slip can lead to confiscation. Declare, follow TSA rules, and check these items properly. Legal compliance ensures safe, hassle-free travel. 14. Perishable foods and international liquids. Travelers returning from abroad often carry sauces, spreads, or packaged foods. Customs and TSA rules intersect here. Advanced preparation, understanding limits and documentation requirements, transforms potential confiscation into a smooth transition through checkpoints. Seniors or families traveling internationally especially need this insight. 15. Unlabeled or suspicious items in carry-ons. Old electronics, loose cables, or novelty items can all raise red flags. TSA officers are trained to flag items that seem unusual. The golden rule: pack clearly, label appropriately, and remove anything ambiguous. Small foresight prevents big disruption. Now that you know all 15 items, remember this: vigilance, planning, and foresight are your best friends at TSA checkpoints. Seniors, everyday travelers, and anyone flying can benefit enormously from knowing these items in advance. Preparing properly keeps your possessions safe and ensures your journey starts smoothly. The ultimate mindset? Plan smart, pack clearly, and travel with confidence. Let these words guide you through any airport scenario. When you travel, always think ahead. Clear bags, labeled medications, declared batteries, and carefully packed gadgets. These small steps make the difference between stress-filled lines and calm, confident travel. Now it's your turn. Imagine walking into the airport in 2026 and feeling something different. The terminals look the same, the crowds look the same, the announcements sound the same, but the rules have changed. Quietly, subtly, strategically. And unless someone tells you what shifted and why, you're traveling in the dark. But that ends today, because in this video, I'm going to show you 12 new airport rules in 2026. The ones reshaping how you travel, who gets priority, who saves money, who gets upgrades, and who gets stuck paying for mistakes they didn't even know they were making. Most travelers never notice these changes, not because the airlines hide them in fine print, but because they hide them in plain sight. They're wrapped in convenience, buried in apps, disguised as technology upgrades, or framed as new standard procedures. But insiders, people who take the time to understand the system, they move differently. They move sooner, smarter, calmer. And I want you to be one of them. So whether you're a senior looking for less hassle, a parent trying to avoid airport chaos, a frequent flyer chasing smarter upgrades, or a budget traveler squeezing value from every inch of a trip, today's video is designed for you. Let's get into it. 1. The new digital first security checkpoint. Imagine this. You roll your suitcase up to security. You're expecting the old routine. Dig for your wallet, pull out your ID, unfold your boarding pass, hold everything at an awkward angle while balancing luggage with your knee. But the TSA agent doesn't wave you forward. Instead, the scanner does. You hold up your phone, one tap, a soft beep. You're through. That's the 2026 digital first security shift. Your government ID and boarding pass are now encrypted credentials stored in your phone or smartwatch. Airports don't advertise this loudly because they want to keep the traditional lines flowing. It creates the illusion of necessary congestion. But the travelers using digital ID, they skip entire layers of friction. And here's the quiet part no one mentions. Digital first ID verifies faster than a human can blink. Your face is matched with your encrypted ID. Your boarding pass is validated. Your travel record is cross-checked automatically, all in under 3 seconds. Here's an example. You're a senior traveler with limited mobility. Normally, the ID check is exhausting, the bending, the digging, the balancing. But now, you tap your device, the system confirms everything, and you glide forward. For families, it's even better. No more juggling 5 passports at once. No more, where did you put your boarding pass? Panic. And the best part? Some airports preload your credentials hours or even days before your flight. You walk in already approved. But here's something interesting. Digital first security directly affects a second, much more hidden rule. 2. Dynamic carry-on allowances. The real reason rules keep changing. You've probably noticed that carry-on restrictions feel inconsistent. One trip your bag is allowed, the next trip it isn't. One gate agent lets a slightly bigger bag slide, another insists it must be checked. In 2026, that inconsistency isn't random. It's intentional. Airlines now use dynamic overhead bin algorithms to calculate how much space is available in real time. Your carry-on allowance shifts based on your check-in time, your boarding group, how full your flight is, your seat class, your loyalty activity, and even your app behavior. Yes, your app activity can influence your carry-on privileges. Here's a scenario. You check in early using digital ID. The system sees you're among the first 40% of passengers. It automatically marks you as priority bin eligible. So your bag fits, you board calmly. You get first pick of overhead space. Meanwhile, someone who checked in late, they get flagged for possible gate check, even if their bag is within the size limit. Airlines don't tell travelers this because if everyone acted strategically, bin chaos would disappear. And airlines prefer bin chaos because it pushes people to pay for priority boarding, upgrades, or early check-in features. But here's the major twist. This system ties directly into the next new rule, the one that airlines really don't want most passengers to know, because carry-on allowances influence last-minute digital upgrades. 3. Contactless last-minute upgrade windows. You've heard of $39 upgrades. You've heard of emailed upgrade offers. But in 2026, there's a new player. Real-time dynamic gate upgrades pushed directly to your phone once boarding begins. Here's the trick. These upgrade offers often appear after the gate agent closes standard boarding and starts scanning digital IDs. That's because the system now knows how many seats are left, which seats need to be filled, which passengers are digitally verified, and who is already near the gate. So imagine this. You're standing 5 feet from the boarding door. Your phone buzzes. Upgrade to premium economy for $90? Or even, upgrade to business class for $175? Other passengers don't get the offer because they aren't digitally checked in. They're far from the gate. Their carry-on got flagged. They haven't interacted with the airline app recently. This is why digital IDs matter. They push you into the system's top-tier visibility. And here's where it gets wild. These upgrades aren't just about seats. The system also uses them to determine who qualifies for the new AI-powered bag screening lane. And that brings us to the next rule, the one that's transforming security more than anything since 9/11. 4. AI-enhanced bag screening. No more laptop removal. If you haven't experienced this yet, you will. And when you do, it feels like magic. In 2026, advanced CT scanners with AI enhanced detection identify prohibited items without requiring passengers to remove. Laptops, tablets, cameras, liquids, medicine, chargers, small electronics. You simply place your bag on the belt, and the scanner reconstructs a detailed 3D model of its contents. The AI then highlights potential risks automatically. But here's where things get fascinating. iBag screening ties directly to the next new rule, real-time luggage tracking. Because once AI identifies your bag, it can track it across multiple zones in the airport. That means lost luggage? Almost impossible now. 5. Smart luggage tracking. Here's a quiet truth. Airlines lose far fewer bags now, and it's not because they got better at handling them. It's because radio frequency identification bag tracking became mandatory in 2026 across major airports. Every checked bag now has a radio frequency identification chip, a digital profile, a scan history, a location trail, and passengers can see everything through their airline app. Imagine this. You land from a tight connection. You're worried your bag didn't make it. But instead of guessing, your app tells you, bag scanned, arrived at Denver, carousel 14 in 6 minutes. Families stop panicking. Seniors stop worrying. Budget travelers stop paying for unnecessary insurance. But here's the twist. RFID tracking also determines who qualifies for the new wellness priority lanes, a 2026 feature designed to reduce crowding but secretly used to reward predictable passengers. 6. Wellness priority lanes, a quiet VIP shortcut. These lanes are one of 2026's most overlooked gems. They're designed for passengers who complete a health survey, wear a health monitoring device, opt in to biometric screening, or pre-clear their digital ID. When you do this, the system marks you as low risk, high efficiency, meaning you're routed into shorter lanes, faster checks, smoother entry points. These aren't medical screenings, they're behavioral, and they allow airports to prioritize travelers who flow smoothly through the system. They don't advertise this because they don't want crowds in these lanes. But the wellness lane feeds into the next airport shift, a rule that fixes one of the biggest travel pains of all time: gate changes. 7. Early gate change alerts powered by predictive AI. Gate changes used to feel random. 1 minute you're at gate A12, the next you're sprinting to gate F95, carrying a coffee, a backpack, a winter coat, and a questionable amount of frustration. In 2026, AI predicts gate changes before the airport publishes them. The system analyzes aircraft arrivals, crew timing, airport congestion, weather patterns, maintenance signals, and even passenger clustering. Then it updates your app with gate likely to change to B17. 30 minutes later, the public screen updates. But you already knew. While others run, you stroll. And here's where things get interesting. These predictive systems power the next 2026 rule, one that's transforming how people move between terminals: autonomous airport shuttles. 8. Autonomous airport shuttles. The end of long walks. In 2026, driverless shuttles now transport passengers between distant gates, remote terminals, connector tunnels, and international wings. These shuttles operate every 60 to 120 seconds and adjust routes based on passenger clusters. This is especially important for seniors, travelers with tight connections, families with strollers, anyone changing terminals in giant airports like Istanbul, Dubai, or LAX. But here's the insider part. Your digital activity influences shuttle availability. If the system sees you moving toward a gate change early, thanks to predictive alerts, it positions a shuttle accordingly. This same digital activity triggers something else: priority boarding eligibility. 9. App engaged priority boarding. This rule is so subtle, most passengers have no idea it exists. Airlines now reward travelers who check in digitally, use mobile boarding passes, engage with notifications, enable biometric verification, or complete pre-flight steps. These passengers quietly get bumped into earlier boarding groups, not because of loyalty status, not because of seat class, but because airlines want more people using digital systems. Here's an example. You check your app twice before the flight. You respond yes to a seating preference question. You confirm your ID. At the gate, your boarding pass suddenly says Group 2 instead of Group 4. This matters because early boarding equals guaranteed overhead bin space, and bin space is the #1 stress point on U.S. flights right now. But priority boarding leads to something even more valuable: lounge access without a membership. 10. Lounge access through digital tokens. In 2026, airlines realized something important. People who spend time in lounges spend more on travel long-term. So they introduced digital lounge tokens, a hidden perk unlocked through app surveys, flight check-ins, airline partner transactions, digital ID enrollment, or frequent flyer milestones. These tokens provide one-time lounge access even if you don't have a membership or credit card. Imagine this. You're traveling with kids. The airport is loud, crowded, overstimulating. Your phone buzzes. You've unlocked a comfort token, redeem at Lounge B. Suddenly you're in a quiet room with snacks, charging outlets, clean bathrooms, and space to breathe. These tokens aren't advertised because airlines don't want lounges overcrowded, but they do want digital engagement. And speaking of digital engagement, that leads to one of the biggest 2026 changes affecting every dollar you spend: transparent dynamic fee dashboards. 11. The transparent fee dashboard, finally. For the first time ever, airlines created a centralized dashboard showing seat fees, bag fees, upgrade offers, meal prices, Wi-Fi packages, onboard purchases, dynamic discounts, and waived fees. Here's the part most travelers miss. This dashboard exposes discounts that airlines use to quietly hide. Things like $0 change fee today, meal upgrade reduced 40%, checked bag fee waived due to low volume, exit row seat now free. But only passengers who open the dashboard see these changes. Everyone else pays full price. And this dashboard ties directly to the final and most visible 2026 airport rule, biometric boarding. 12. Biometric boarding, the fastest boarding ever created. In 2026, biometric boarding is finally mature, accurate, and fast. You walk up to the gate, a camera scans your face. Your identity, reservation, seat, and security clearance all flash green. You walk on. No boarding pass, no scanning, no ID, no fumbling with devices, no waiting in a long, slow-moving line. Families board faster. Seniors board easier. Budget travelers board more confidently. Frequent flyers board more efficiently. And because biometric boarding virtually eliminates bottlenecks, boarding times are dropping across the world. But before we wrap up, this is the perfect moment for something important. If you're still watching, it means you care about traveling smarter, not just cheaper. You value information most travelers never hear. And that's exactly why this channel exists. So while we pause for just a moment in this journey through 2026 airport secrets, let me say this. If you love learning the hidden rules that make flying easier, subscribe to Boardify. This channel is built for travelers who want an edge, comfort, confidence, and clarity in the places most people feel stressed. All right, let's keep going, because the final insights are the most empowering. Everything you learned today forms one larger truth. Travel in 2026 rewards the traveler who moves early, digitally, and confidently. Because now you know, security is digital first. Carry-on rules adapt to your behavior. Upgrades appear at the gate. AI scans your bag instantly. Your luggage tracks itself. Wellness lanes create shortcuts. Gate changes predict themselves. Shuttles move automatically. Priority boarding is algorithmic. Lounge tokens are digital. Fees reveal themselves. Boarding is biometric. Travel isn't getting harder. It's getting smarter. And now, well, so are you. Before you go, most travelers still believe airports work for them. They don't. They work around you. They're designed to move you, manage you, monetize you quietly, and reward the people who understand how the system really works. And in 2026, that system is changing in ways most passengers have no idea about yet. Not because it's better for you, but because it's better for efficiency, automation, security data, and airline profit flow. Which means this video is not about new rules. It's about the advantages hidden inside those rules. The comfort upgrades, the time savers, the priority treatment, the invisible fast lanes, and the protections most people will never claim. Simply because they were never taught to. If you've ever stood in a long security line watching someone else glide past you, if you've ever lost hours to delays, reroutes, or gate chaos, if you've ever wondered how some travelers always seem calmer, faster, better treated, and better seated, this is the knowledge gap that creates that difference. And by the end of this video, you won't be guessing anymore. You'll be moving like someone who knows how the system actually works. Because here are the 8 major airport rule changes reshaping travel in 2026, and the quiet advantages hidden inside them. Let's begin with the change that is going to quietly erase the normal airport experience as we know it. Airports around the world are completing their shift into full biometric processing. Face recognition at check-in, bag drop, security, boarding, and even immigration exit. By 2026, you won't check in, your face will. What most travelers don't realize is that biometric lanes are not neutral lanes. They are algorithm-managed lanes. which means the system is quietly ranking passengers in real time based on security clearance, boarding history, flight connection pressure, elite status, and risk profile, and then moving them accordingly. In simple terms, two people can walk into the same terminal at the same time and be silently routed through completely different speed experiences. This is why you're already seeing mystery lanes open and close, why some people breeze through with no bag swabs, why others get secondary screening randomly. It's not random. And here's the part almost nobody tells you. Once you're fully enrolled in biometric programs and trusted traveler databases, the system begins treating you like infrastructure instead of cargo. Your face becomes your fast pass, which means the smartest thing you can do in 2026 is stop resisting biometric enrollment and instead opt into every available trusted identity program that feeds the system clean data about you. When your digital identity profile is complete, your travel experience becomes smoother, faster, quieter, and less invasive. You wait less, you get flagged less. You move more predictably, you stop being managed and start being processed, and that's where comfort begins. Now, this next rule connects directly to that, but it's even more powerful. Because in 2026, airports are introducing something that looks like a service upgrade, but is actually a behavioral sorting system. Dynamic gate access. Airports are now zoning gate areas into digital microzones. Seating areas, standing lanes, boarding channels, even restroom access that open or restrict based on your boarding group, ticket type, connection urgency, and biometric identity. What that means in real life is this. Two people can walk up to the same gate. One is gently redirected into a quieter, seated, climate-balanced waiting zone with early boarding flow. The other stands in a crowded overflow channel. No announcements, no signage explaining why. Just invisible privilege. And the reason this exists isn't comfort, it's crowd control efficiency. But the result is comfort for those who know how to qualify. The system prioritizes travelers who show up digitally early, maintain consistent boarding behavior, and carry fewer processing flags. So if you've ever wondered why some travelers always get seated first, called quietly, boarded smoothly, and settled while everyone else still feels rushed, it's because their digital footprint tells the system they are low friction. Your job is to become low friction. And once you do, the airport starts treating you very differently. Now, if you think that sounds subtle, this next one is not. Because 2026 is also the year airports officially complete the shift into predictive delay management. This is huge. Flights are no longer just delayed when something goes wrong. They are pre-delayed quietly, based on weather modeling, staffing forecasts, aircraft rotation probability, and connection load. Which means airlines often know your flight will be delayed hours before they admit it publicly. But here's what most people don't know. When a delay is forecasted early enough, the airline's internal system begins pre-assigning priority protections. Some passengers are automatically earmarked for earlier rebooking, better hotel placement, meal credit tiers, seat preservation, and protected connections. Others are simply wait and see. The system is choosing who gets rescued first. And the people who benefit are not always the loudest. They're the ones whose profiles show consistent digital engagement, app usage, pre-check-in behavior, and minimal customer service friction history, which means how you interact with airline systems today is shaping how protected you'll be tomorrow. This is where flying smart becomes more powerful than flying cheap. And if this is already changing how you see airports, stay with me, because in just a moment, I'll show you the one benefit that even many flight attendants don't realize exists. But first, if you love uncovering hidden travel perks like these, make sure you're subscribed to Board to Fly, because this channel is built for travelers who want to fly smarter, not just cheaper. Now let's talk about luggage, because 2026 is rewriting baggage control in a way that quietly changes who loses bags and who doesn't. Airports are shifting fully into AI-directed baggage routing. Your suitcase is no longer just placed on a belt. It is tracked, scored, and prioritized based on flight criticality, connection tightness, passenger value index, and digital reliability markers, which means two bags can arrive at the same airport. and only one is silently prioritized onto the next aircraft. This is why some people almost never lose luggage, even on tight international connections, while others seem cursed. Their digital reliability score is higher. Your bag is treated like you. The more predictable, digitally verified, and system trusted you are, the more your luggage is protected, which means in 2026, the smartest travelers don't just protect their seats, they protect their digital travel profile. Because once your profile becomes clean, the system starts moving your bag differently. Now, here's the benefit most people miss. When your bag is algorithm protected, your chances of being rebooked with your luggage intact increases dramatically. And that's one of the quietest luxury perks in modern travel. Now let's talk about seating, because family travelers, seniors, and long-haul flyers are about to see a major shift. In 2026, airlines are implementing auto seat cohesion rules, meaning the system automatically rearranges seats in real time to group families, reduce aisle congestion, and balance cabin behavior patterns. This sounds neutral, but it quietly favors people who digitally identify their needs early. If your booking profile includes mobility needs, family linkage, height comfort preferences, or aisle exit consistency, the system begins preserving and upgrading your seat placement automatically. Not because the airline is generous, but because you are statistically easier to manage, which means seniors who identify mobility needs early are more likely to be auto-placed closer to restrooms, aisles, and deboarding paths. Families who digitally link profiles are more likely to stay seated together even after aircraft swaps. And frequent flyers who maintain consistent seat preferences are less likely to be displaced. The system is learning your comfort. Now, here's the one perk most flight attendants don't talk about. Because in 2026, airlines are also rolling out silent service eligibility flags. These flags quietly mark passengers who qualify for discretionary comfort gestures, priority drink and meal timing, proactive problem resolution, faster reseating during disruptions, and unadvertised goodwill credits. The flag is not about money, it's about system trust. If your digital profile shows calm travel behavior, low complaint friction, consistent booking patterns, and verified identity, the system marks you as a low-stress, high-retention traveler, which means you quietly get better treated, not because you asked, but because you were selected. Now let's talk about security again, because this is where the biggest comfort shift happens. In 2026, airports finalize adaptive screening lanes. Security is no longer one size fits all. Your screening level changes dynamically based on your identity confidence, behavior pattern, and digital footprint, which means some passengers quietly get faster, lighter screening, while others are slowed down. The advantage? Once your profile becomes stable, you experience fewer delays, fewer bag checks, fewer pat-downs, and fewer holdups. You glide. And finally, the rule that will change missed connections forever. Airports and airlines are now fully integrating connection protection intelligence. This means the system now predicts when you will miss your connection before you do. And for some travelers, it silently begins fixing the problem. Auto rebooking, seat holds, gate staff alerts, protected routing. Others are left to discover the problem at the gate. The system is not neutral. It protects profiles it trusts. And once you understand this, you stop flying blind. You start flying informed. Because the truth is simple, modern airports are no longer buildings. They are decision engines. And the smartest travelers are not fighting the system. They are teaching it who they are. They are becoming digitally predictable, behaviorally consistent, and identity verified. They are becoming low friction. And low friction travelers get comfort, speed, protection, and priority quietly, which brings us full circle. The frustration you felt in airports was never random. It was algorithmic. And the moment you understand that, you stop being managed and start being moved smoothly. Your master key mindset going forward is this: I travel like someone the system can trust. Because when the system trusts you, the airport works for you. Now tell me in the comments, what's the best unexpected free comfort, upgrade? Air travel in 2026 is going to look very different. And most travelers have no idea what's coming. Because while everyone's focused on the price of plane tickets and baggage fees, the TSA has been quietly rolling out a wave of new rules and technologies that are about to change everything from how you check in, to how you pass through security, to even what you can carry on board. And here's the kicker. These new TSA changes aren't optional. Some will make your travel faster and safer. Others, they'll catch unprepared travelers completely off guard. So today I'm pulling back the curtain on the new TSA travel rules for 2026. The ones you need to know to avoid delays, missed flights, or worse, being pulled aside for extra screening. We're talking digital IDs, AI-powered scanners, carry-on rule overhauls, and even new facial recognition mandates. So if you want to travel like a pro, not a rookie, stick with me till the end because I'm not just revealing the changes. I'll show you exactly how to adapt and take advantage of them. Let's get into it. Number 1. The rise of digital IDs. Your phone is your passport. TSA has started quietly testing digital ID checkpoints at select airports like LAX, DCA, ATL, and MCO. By 2026, you can expect this to be mainstream across most major U.S. hubs. Instead of showing your physical ID, you'll scan your digital driver's license, stored in your Apple Wallet or Google Wallet. TSA officers will verify it electronically. No physical contact needed. Here's how it works. You open your digital wallet, tap your digital ID, place your phone near the TSA reader. Look into the camera for instant identity verification. You're done. No handing over plastic cards, no fumbling in your wallet. Why TSA loves it. Digital IDs are faster, harder to fake, and integrate seamlessly with their new biometric systems. They're part of a push toward contactless security, especially after COVID changed how airports think about hygiene. Why you should care: if you're an early adopter, you'll get through security faster. But if you're not digitally prepared, you'll be the one holding up the line. Bonus tip: enroll your ID in your digital wallet before you travel. Apple already supports it in over 20 states, and Google's rollout is expanding rapidly. And speaking of contactless, that leads directly into the next big shift you'll start seeing everywhere. Number 2, facial recognition checkpoints. No more boarding passes. In 2026, expect to see far fewer TSA agents checking IDs by hand. Instead, facial recognition technology is taking over. This isn't sci-fi. It's already live in over 50 U.S. airports, including JFK, DFW, and Miami. TSA is using cameras that instantly verify your face against government databases. Your face is your boarding pass. You'll walk up to the checkpoint, look at a camera, and if the system recognizes you, the gate opens automatically. Why TSA is doing this? It reduces human error, shortens lines, and helps flag identity fraud faster. TSA claims it's optional, but by 2026, it'll likely be the default method of ID verification. Here's the quiet truth. Most people comply because facial recognition feels normal now. But you can still opt out by saying, "I prefer manual ID verification." It's your legal right. That said, skipping the scan can slow you down, especially as TSA reconfigures lanes for automated screening. Pro tip: if you're privacy conscious but still want speed, enroll in TSA PreCheck with your facial data. It makes you eligible for the fastest line while controlling how your info's stored. And if you think that's high-tech, wait until you hear how TSA is changing the way your bags are scanned next. Number 3, 3D CT scanners. The end of laptop and liquid removal. This one's a game changer. By 2026, TSA plans to complete its rollout of computed tomography CT scanners nationwide. These are the same advanced machines hospitals use, and they're finally making airport security smoother. Here's the magic. The scanners create a 3D image of your bag, allowing officers to rotate and analyze every angle. That means you won't need to remove laptops, electronics, or liquids in most lanes. Why does the TSA want this? Fewer bag checks, fewer false alarms, faster flow. These scanners can detect explosives and prohibited items more accurately than the old X-ray machines. No more juggling bins or forgetting your laptop in the tray. Bonus insider trick, if your airport doesn't yet have CT lanes, look for signage saying 3D screening or CT-equipped lane. They move faster, and TSA officers often direct pre-check members there first. But even as TSA makes things smoother, they're also tightening restrictions on what you can bring, especially when it comes to your liquids and powders. So let's talk about that next. Number 4, the 100 milliliter liquid rule, finally evolving. That tiny 3.4-ounce rule we've been living with since 2006, it's finally being challenged. Thanks to those same CT scanners, several countries, like the UK and Japan, have already begun removing the 100 milliliter limit. TSA hasn't officially lifted it yet, but it's actively testing relaxed limits in select airports. What this means? By 2026, the US may begin allowing larger liquid containers, especially for travelers going through CT-equipped lanes. It's partly about standardization. Until every checkpoint has CT technology, they need to keep the 100 milliliter rule for consistency. Here's a tip for you. Check TSA's official list before every trip. And remember, if your airport uses CT scanners, you may soon be allowed to keep liquids in your bag entirely. Pro insider bonus. Even if the rule relaxes, keep using clear quart-sized bags. It shows you're an organized traveler, and TSA agents are far more likely to wave you through without extra checks. And speaking of organization, this next rule is one most travelers don't even know is changing, but it could save you serious time. Number 5, smart security lanes. TSA is redesigning checkpoints into smart security lanes with automated bin returns, AI-assisted tracking, and weight sensors that prevent line jams. You'll start seeing more lanes where bins move automatically, just like in major hubs in Europe and Asia. How it helps, and no more waiting for someone to push bins forward. The system reuses them instantly and uses sensors to flag forgotten items. Why TSA is doing this? Smart lanes increase throughput by up to 30%. With air travel volume climbing again, this tech is essential to prevent chaos at peak hours. Stick to automated lanes whenever possible, even if the line looks longer. They move faster and have fewer random bag pulls. Now, all this automation ties into something even bigger. TSAs plan to go paperless and touchless across your entire airport journey. And that brings us to one of the most underrated changes coming soon. Number 6, mobile boarding pass integration. One scan for everything. By 2026, your phone will handle nearly every airport checkpoint. From check-in to boarding, your digital ID, pre-check status, and boarding pass will sync into a single barcode. This means no more juggling screens or paper passes. TSA's pilot programs with airlines like Delta and United are already testing unified QR codes that verify identity, flight info, and security status in one scan. Why this matters? It eliminates mismatched names and invalid passes, one of the top reasons travelers get delayed at checkpoints. Pro tip, if you're enrolled in TSA PreCheck, Global Entry, or Clear, make sure your frequent flyer profile matches exactly what's on your ID. Even a missing middle name can flag you in the system. Bonus insight. By 2026, TSA plans to sync this tech with its Credential Authentication Technology, CAT2 units, machines that verify your identity and boarding status simultaneously. Next up, let's talk about what this means for random screening, because the new system isn't as random as you think. Number 7, random. Screening is getting smarter. You know that feeling when you're randomly selected for additional screening? In 2026, that randomness is about to get a lot smarter and a lot more personal. TSA is implementing behavioral pattern analysis algorithms that analyze travel history, purchase behavior, and even device data to determine who gets flagged. In plain English, the system learns who's most likely to be a risk and screens accordingly. Even if you're not doing anything wrong, inconsistent travel behavior, like last-minute bookings, cash purchases, or mismatched IDs, can raise your risk profile. Insider trick, fly with consistent travel patterns. Same frequent flyer number, Same TSA pre-check account, same ID details. It builds trust in the system. But while TSA's algorithms are getting smarter, they're also giving frequent travelers more power through new membership programs and lane upgrades. Number 8, TSA PreCheck 2.0, faster, smarter, and expanding. PreCheck has always been the holy grail for frequent flyers, but 2026 will see PreCheck 2.0 with expanded eligibility and enhanced tech integration. What's new? PreCheck will be tied directly to your digital ID or family sharing is coming. Kids under 18 traveling with a PreCheck adult will get automatic access. And TSA plans to reduce renewal fees for digital verification users. Why TSA is doing this? They want more people enrolled. Pre-check travelers move faster, require fewer manual checks, and cost less to process. Here's your advantage. If you renew or apply now, your status will automatically roll into the new Pre-check 2.0 system. No extra steps needed. Bonus insider hack, combine Pre-check plus Clear. By 2026, many airports will merge these into dual-lane access, cutting total wait times by 50 to 70%. And if you think that's convenient, the next change is one most people will never notice, but it could make or break your travel day. Number 9, new carry-on size enforcement. For years, carry-on limits have been loosely enforced, but TSA is now working with airlines to standardize carry-on dimensions and enforcement at security, not just the gate. What's happening? Automated carry-on sizers are being installed at select airports. If your bag doesn't fit, you'll be sent back to check it. TSA is under pressure to streamline X-ray scanning. Overstuffed bags jam machines and delay lanes. Traveler tip, stick to 22 by 14 by 9 inches or smaller, the global carry-on standard. And here's the pro move. Pack light and flat. TSA agents favor travelers who look organized. Messy, bulging bags get flagged more often. But while TSA tightens physical restrictions, it's also quietly working to improve accessibility, something long overdue in airport security. Number 10, accessibility upgrades. TSA is introducing major accessibility reforms by 2026. Expect dedicated lanes for travelers with disabilities, upgraded scanning chairs, and AI-assisted communication tools for nonverbal passengers. After years of criticism from disability advocates, the agency is prioritizing inclusivity. New training protocols are being implemented across all major hubs. Traveler tip, if you or someone you travel with needs assistance, mention TSA Cares when booking. It's a free program that assigns a passenger support specialist to help you through screening. Bonus insight, these reforms will expand to families traveling with infants, with faster stroller checks and bottle allowances under the new CT scanning rules. And this leads us to one final and massive shift you'll start noticing in 2026. Number 11, AI-powered risk profiling and predictive screening. TSA's long-term goal is simple: zero-touch, fully automated security. They're training AI to detect potential threats based on movement patterns, thermal readings, and object behavior, all in real time. What this means for you: if your bag looks suspicious or your movements seem erratic, the system may flag you before a human ever looks at your ID. This doesn't mean you're being watched constantly, but it does mean your behavior matters. Stay calm, organized, and deliberate. TSA's AI is designed to detect stress anomalies, sudden hesitation, rapid movement, or visible agitation. Here's your power hack. Those who understand the system can move through airports almost invisibly. Calm, prepared, confident. Bonus trick, use the TSA Travel Ready app when it launches in 2026. It'll pre-clear your digital ID, boarding pass, and security status, meaning when you arrive, you're already halfway through the system. Before we wrap up this video, here are some real phrases you can use to make TSA interactions smoother. I'm traveling with PreCheck today. Should I use that lane? Is this a CT-equipped lane? I have all my electronics packed together. Can I opt for manual ID verification, please? I'm enrolled in TSA Cares. Can I check in with my support specialist? I'd like to keep my items together for faster screening. Is that okay? Simple, confident phrases like these show TSA you're an informed traveler, and that changes how you're treated. Before you travel, check your real ID or passport validity. Add your digital ID to Apple or Google Wallet. Sync your airline profile with PreCheck or Global Entry. Download your boarding pass early and store offline. Keep liquids under 100 milliliters, unless your airport allows otherwise. Use organized packing cubes to speed up bag scans. At the airport, look for CT-equipped or smart lanes. Use facial recognition or digital ID if available. Keep calm, confident body language. Speak clearly and politely. TSA officers notice. Always recheck your bins before leaving the belt. The truth is, TSA isn't just tightening control, it's evolving into a data-driven system built around trust in tech. And the travelers who adapt early, they'll glide through airports while everyone else is stuck repacking their bags or arguing about IDS. So now that you know what's coming, which of these new TSA rules surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you want to keep traveling smarter, faster, and stress-free, make sure you subscribe to Boardify, because I'll keep revealing the insider secrets airlines and airports don't want you to know. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next video.